perfect till I realized you hadn't shown your face. You sing a pretty song to drag my heart along, a siren serenade. You're ringing out your praise. Your love's a wreck and you know it's wrong. I was deaf to the ringing bells, wanting me to break, deafened by the sirens, soothing lies. I can't leave, I am in too deep, been sinking for a while, prisoner to the same thing I despise, devoted to a fake. You sing a pretty song to drag my heart along, a siren serenade. You're ringing out your praise. Your love's a wreck and you know it's wrong. It's over, same story. You lose to love and glory. It's over, same story. You lose to love and glory. You sing a pretty song to drag my heart along, a siren serenade. You're ringing out your praise. Your love's a wreck and you know it's wrong. It's over, same story. You lose to love and glory. It's over, same story. You lose to love and glory. I came up short today. Feels like I fell 1,000 times. Nothing but doubt to flood my mind. 'Cause sometimes it's hard to remember why I ever started racing with my dreams. A restless December, feeling I was meant for more than I believed. I'll never surrender, rather try and fail and fall 1,000,000 times. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I know as close as I am now, I will struggle, I will shout. There's no stopping, there's no doubt. I'm on my way. There's no stopping, there's no doubt. I'm on my way. I swear I meant to do this. I'm told that love would never lie. I wear my head
think people need love and help more than ever.
More
That's
help?
important. They
Is there
need
such
love
a thing as too much help?
and help. No. Yes.
There is.
But in our business, no.
Okay, that's
No.
fair. That's
It's
fair.
always more. Always want more to sort through.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, there's certainly unhelpful help, but at the time, we don't really know. But that's why we're here, and that people trust us to
We can't betray
always have
that.
the right words to say.
Yes.
But yeah, we can't betray the. Yeah, no,
Right.
exactly. That's why I take this very, very seriously.
Yes.
And
it is in
make
the name
sure
of the
that-
show, actually.
Exactly. Can't make light of any of these things. People have real problems. They have real questions. They need real answers.
Wow.
So
that's a
whenever you
good-
want, let's go live.
Yeah.
Let's do it, and we'll answer some questions, and we'll help the masses.
Awesome. We're already live, by the way. Just wanted to let you know that.
But I'm sorry.
We are live.
Can you tell me? Can you I don't know. Can you
Hey,
do
you know
a
what?
3, 2, 1, but something?
Yeah,
How about
I probably should. How do they do it? 3, 2, 3.
2.
You
Exactly.
can do a Bill
See?
O'Reilly. Damn it, we'll
And
do
you
it
can-
live.
Doing it live.
We're doing it live.
Fuck it. Damn it.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah, he really won. Remember how he was saying he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be bigger than ever." Yeah, Bill, how'd that go for you?
It went okay
No one
for a
knows where the
time.
hell you are.
Anymore. It's just like they'll be like Tucker Carlson interviewed. Wait, he has a show on
Right.
X. X has shows.
Not really, because they keep getting shut. They keep failing technically because
Right,
oh,
doesn't-
and Elon Musk keeps making up. Oh, we had a DDNS attack. Like bullshit.
right.
It's like,
We had a denial of service attack.
yeah, it's like you
which
did
might be
not, dirty liar.
fucking robot.
Anyway, so we are live. So welcome everyone. Welcome back. Green Pants and I are here to again answer your 5 questions as best we can. And
5 burning questions that
Burning
need answers
from our
ASAP immediately.
viewers. So we're here for you guys.
Very here
So,
for you.
I know.
So we can only do 5 each time, but we encourage you to just keep
Well,
sending those questions
that's-
in because we will get to them, and
eventually.
all of your questions are important.
Yes. But that's what I was saying is such thing as too much help, right? Like I think like 5 questions is kind of our limit for an evening. I think it becomes overwhelming.
Oh, I in terms of well, that's just a logistical problem, really, in terms of
I suppose.
how much time that it takes, and the amount of thought and research that we have to put into each of these things as we're talking off the top of our heads. It's important.
Sure.
But what do we got today? We have
Yeah, let's do it. Let's jump in.
We got 5 lined up?
We do have 5 lined up, and these are again from our viewers. We're gonna start diving in here. First one comes from Dennis from Daytona, Florida. People actually live in Daytona, Florida. I thought it was just like a spring break destination.
yeah,
I
I
think
thought it was
humans
just
actually lived in Daytona. But kudos to you, Dennis. Hey, rock on. Unless you're always on spring break, which is fantastic. You live your best life. The
what does Dennis want?
Dennis is a 25-year-old male. He's been with his girlfriend for 3 months, and we're on vacation now in Mexico. Yesterday, I saw a text message from saved contacts saying, "Everything cool, you down to fuck?" I didn't say anything yet, and I haven't talked to her this morning. Should I just break up with her before we even leave to go home? Says Dennis from Daytona, Florida. Huh.
Intriguing.
Isn't it?
Y-
The plot thickens.
As a 20-something in Daytona, Florida, my understanding is that everyone is always down to fuck.
Yeah.
I have at least 8 Girls Gone Wild DVDs as evidence of this fact. And if they're in Mexico, I've got 8 more between Cancun, Playa del Carmen, Cozumel.
Puerto Vallarta.
Like, if this invitation is within Mexico, like, I've got DVDs from all of these places.
Yeah.
So,
Clearly it happened. Must be real.
But, okay. So
I-
Dennis,
Yeah,
do
go
you
ahead.
know the contact?
Right.
Like, he's saying it's like, is it a member of the preferred gender that she tends to generally get down to fuck with?
Oh. I see where you're going.
You know what I
with
mean?
this.
Like, because it could be like an inside joke, Like whenever my dad asked me to mow the lawn, he'd make it into some sort of question, so it could be like, "Hey, down to fuck?" Maybe it, could mean lawn darts.
Not
Could
the same
be,
thing.
it
Lawn
may not
darts.
necessarily mean, hello, I am ready to do some sex to you.
I think
It
it's
may
what
not be that.
I guess
Probably
that's
is.
possible, but
I-
it's likely that's what it is. I would take a fair guess. But here's the thing,
yeah.
like 3 months is like not that's well within the range of here's someone I used to
Yeah.
fuck, haven't talked to him in 3 months, and he just messaged me out of the blue. That's completely a legit thing that could happen.
Right. Because I think there are definitely circumstances here which can make this not necessarily a breakup situation.
Yes.
And especially if you're in Mexico. I mean, is this person down to Mexico? Like, are all three of you down to fuck? I mean, make this an event. Like, I mean, roll with it. This just seems like more people and more opportunity. I mean, you're already in Mexico. You've been with this girl for 3 months. That's what, you know.
Going on vacation with you, that's awesome.
Yeah, like in 3 months, like you went on, like, and also you're in Daytona, Florida. Like that's there. I don't, as far as I know, there are no rules or
Rules.
even laws down there.
Relationship
I think.
rules.
I think it's like the purge. I believe all laws are actually suspended during Daytona Beach in Florida because on those Girls Gone Wild DVDs, there's a lot of illegality going on.
Great stuff.
And only a minority portion of the girls are actually over the age of 18. So right there, we have some legality problems.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
so Dennis, I would say communication is your friend.
Mm-hmm.
And so before you go writing to two white guys on the internet about
Yes.
what you should do and if you should immediately break up with your girlfriend, perhaps inquire about her first and see. Because whereas I'm not definitely buying it. Who knows? Kids today with the Zoomer speak, down to fuck might be did your homework. I don't know.
That's not true.
It could be. It could be like, do you like carrots? Like what?
Do you
How's
prefer
your tummy
carrots on your
feeling?
salad? How was your belly
Yeah,
today?
exactly. Down to fuck. Oh, so carrots. I don't know.
I don't think so. So, yeah,
My
I
own
think
son calls me bro. I
Yeah,
don't know.
no one's even
Up is down,
happening.
black is white. Cats and dogs living together. It's all fucked
bizarro
up.
world. It's a complete bizarre world. We love you guys. Yeah, the 3 months is not that long, dude.
Right.
I think this could be just an old legit hookup, reaching out after 3 months, saying, "Hey, where you been? Want to hook up?" kind of thing. Not a big deal. Even if
I
you
mean, it
guys are
could
dating
even
for
be
like a month, I would say even
Right.
2 months, right? You guys are dating a month, so you can still be screwing out for a month. Why not? You're not exclusive, are you? After a month, so
And I'm saying it could still be code for some other activity.
it's a code.
I'm
I don't
just
think
saying,
it's code. It could be code, but it's probably not code.
like, is it from her mom? If it is, that raises a lot more questions, and
Certainly
I would
does.
really encourage the communication. And then I would
Certainly does.
encourage you to communicate back to us because I want to know: was it her mom?
Yeah.
That's crazy if it was, or like a relative. Like, I kind of want to know more now from Dennis.
Yeah, I like to know that how he saw this information. Did he like grab her phone while she was in the shower or something? Because that's not cool. Or did you happen to look over her shoulder and be nearby while she was looking at the message? Maybe a little more innocuous. So just say, "Hey, I didn't mean to pry, and I'm sorry if you take it this way, but I happened to see this message when you were scrolling through your stuff."
Right.
Anything going on with that? I mean,
Because he said saved.
that's all you have to say.
I saw a text message from a saved
contacts,
contact.
Right.
Oh, and I guess the saved contact means like their name was
And the
in the
name
phone, so
came
they know
up,
who
exactly,
they are. Okay.
exactly.
And so it's like it wasn't like a rando.
So it was like Tony, it's like,
Yeah.
hey,
And Tony is asking,
cool,
down to fuck?
because I would like some of that action.
Or
Yes.
but what if it was
Again, code.
Barbara or Pixie or
Or dad.
Dakota? Destiny.
Yes.
I don't know, something.
Yes.
I don't know. What you need to do, Dennis, is explore the situation a little bit further and gather a little bit more intel, do a little bit more recon, and figure out if you're about to get on a plane by yourself or about to hook up and have a great three-way. Could go either way for you.
It's an option. But
Could go
Dennis,
either way. I'm just saying.
really,
I'm not going to put odds on it.
I would just phrase it the way I said. You inadvertently saw the message and say, "Hey, I mean, if it's old, that's cool. I just want to make sure that everything with that is okay." Just kind of put it that way, and you're not overly prying. You're not being interface confrontational, and it's up to her to be honest with you, right? Conversation from there.
What if it turns out that the safe contact
Communication.
is someone that she met in Mexico?
during that trip.
Like, what if the safe contact is like guy from bar
Right. That she met
at,
while he
at
was in the
resort I'm
bathroom.
staying at right now?
While Dennis was in the bathroom, she met this
It's
guy.
all scrolling
right?
across.
Yeah.
He's Tony from the bar that can't
Right.
learn about
Last
Dennis.
night. Right. Don't. His handle is called.
Where we
Don't
had-
tell Dennis.
Don't tell Dennis his dick was huge. Oh my god, if Dennis ever found out, oh my god,
Right.
he would hate this so much.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't believe, I really hope he never sees this.
Yes. Don't let Dennis see this message.com. Right.
That might have backfired on her.
Yes. That's true. Yes. So that's our take, Dennis. So take it as it is. So don't overreact. Ascertain the situation. Be honest with her. Communicate, and hopefully she'll be honest with you. You guys can move on from this. Don't ruin perhaps a good
Exactly.
relationship over your crazy jealousy, fears, and suspicions. There you go.
Right.
All right.
Because yeah, as I said, you could be walking into a good time or a
Sure.
bad time. It's not necessarily a done deal either way.
Exactly. Okay, next question. Laura from Huntsville, Alabama, goes, I have a friend, Samantha, who's a 30-year-old female, who works at a juvenile detention center.
Yikes!
Samantha recently told me that she's having a relationship with a 19-year-old male inmate.
Where she is.
She has justified this by saying the age is legal, and they've not done anything more than kiss, hug, talk. I find this disgusting and illegal, and I want to report my friend, but I feel like she told me in confidence, and I don't want to betray the trust of my friend. On one hand, I love Sam, but on the other, I don't even know if I want to associate with someone who thinks this is okay. That's Laura from Huntsville, Alabama. I have a strong opinion on this.
Okay. Yeah. Laura, if you have a friend who voluntarily works at a juvenile detention center, you have a friend who's a fucking sociopath. Okay? I have yet to meet a corrections officer whose favorite middle school pastime wasn't sticking smaller kids' heads in toilets. Okay? If it turns out that your 30-year-old juvenile corrections officer is making some morally and ethically gray choices, oh my god, how surprising. A person who has so few redeeming qualities that the only job they're qualified for is to be a government-sanctioned bully of children? Like, oh gosh, and now that person wants to fuck the children. Who could have seen it coming? Oh my goodness. Yeah, color me fucking shocked, Laura. Yeah, you should have seen this coming, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware, though. I would not, saying something might not really be a great answer. I don't know if you're aware, but the police and like corrections officers and stuff generally don't like it when they get extremely prickly when their true nature is shown.
Yes.
They get really, really mad when it turns out, they were just there to be a huge fucking bully and have low self-esteem themselves.
Yeah.
And we're never there to, actually protect and serve. So I would say, don't say anything. Back into the hedge. Just back
There you go,
away into
back.
the hedge.
Yeah, my take is, Laura, this is none of your business. Your friend shared this in confidence. You don't need to get involved, right? The only policy she's violating is her work policy. I'm sure it is very against work policy to have relations with inmates as a correction officer. But it's not illegal. So they're both
It probably
consenting.
is
Is
illegal in
How so?
because the person is under the authority of the state. You can't be locked up by the government and then have someone who's in a position of authority who's like your jail. I mean, this is all completely unethical and illegal, but
I guess I
most
didn't think
of the
of it
stuff
from
that
that
happens in those
perspective.
places is.
That's a fair
So,
point.
this is
I
a
guess I didn't think
juvenile
of it that
detention
way.
center in Alabama. Like downtown Beirut is a preferable place. I mean, like a juvenile corrections facility in Alabama. I mean,
Yeah.
I would rather be in I would rather be in the place in Hostel in Saw 4, where at least I had a fighting chance, to
Yes.
get out of that place. In Alabama, I mean, it's like, yeah. I cannot. I mean, a female 30-year-old juvenile corrections officer in Alabama.
Yeah.
thinking. I'm not thinking a lot of positive things. Is all I'm saying.
I was wondering where you're going with that.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, but saying anything is probably a bad idea because unfortunately these people do have power, and they enjoy using it, especially on people that they feel are coming after them in some way. So back into that hedge.
Agree. Yeah, Sam. Laura, don't worry about it. Let your friends doing her thing. If she's making a mistake, she'll figure it out. What she's doing, Green Panther raised a good point. It probably is illegal, unethical, against her war contract. If she gets caught, she's screwed. Hopefully, lesson will be learned. I mean, what's she gonna do? But are you gonna judge her character based on this? Maybe that's the question.
I already judge her character as a juvenile corrections officer by definition.
Right out of the chute.
By definition, I am sorry. There is no one on earth that gets a job as a juvenile corrections officer who has good intentions.
I see.
I do not believe it. I do not believe
there's a maladjustment there.
There's a
from the get-go.
The job itself requires a maladjusted individual to accept the job. It is a qualification because the things that happen there, to be in that situation, you already have to be so morally bankrupt that you're willing to even put yourself in the situation. Because if you're in there for 4 hours, you would walk out. And as someone who has actually seen the insides of some of these things,
no.
So
if you loved her before this, you should love her after this, I guess is the point that the Green Panther's trying to make.
You never loved her to begin with. She's a sociopath. She tricked you. Pretend you never knew who she was, and new phone. Okay? Get a new phone. Change your number. This is probably worth actually just get a whole new identity. Pretend you never met this woman. Get the fuck out of Huntsville. Just don't mess with fucking corrections officers in Alabama.
There you go. And there we go. That's a very strong opinion. But there it is. Laura.
It is a very strong opinion.
I would just recommend that it's none of your business to report this stuff, and everyone's a consenting age.
But as I'm saying, there cannot be consent when you're in a...
I see what you're saying because the jailer jailed situation. I understand.
Yeah, it's you are under. So
am I applying my sexism here, where I'm saying, well, because it's a guy, it doesn't matter? It does matter.
Right. It matters. I mean, all of this is terrible. I think. I'm just saying, but from Laura's point of view,
clear. What
Laura should understand is that you're in Alabama. So first step, leave. Like, go to a state that doesn't suck so much. Not Mississippi, not Louisiana.
Definitely not
Don't look close around. All of your neighbors are fucking shit.
The only worst state you could be in is Mississippi. So take that heart to that.
I mean,
so
or Upper Florida. You could be. There's that whole like just
section.
Septic tank of an underarm of our country. That's sort of like the taint where Florida hangs off as the penis, and that's then Alabama. That's what Alabama and Mississippi are, and and then finally like Texas comes around as the butt crack coming back around. But it's all nasty down there. Come north. Move higher. Okay? The weather might be a little chillier, but maybe you won't have so many friends that are complete degenerates.
Wow, dude, you're out of control on this one.
Okay, I think it is objectively true that her friend is a bad person. I think that's fair to say.
That's one paragraph.
She's a person. She not only does she work in a juvenile detention facility, but now she's fucking one of the juveniles who is detained, even though technically he is over 18. But this is all gross, and get the fuck out of Alabama, because this is the type of shit that happens in Alabama. we get so many questions from people in Alabama when instead of trying to solve their problem, their problem is that they're in Alabama. Same thing with the fuckers in Idaho and Utah. Come on, guys. These are not good states. They are the bad states. There are good states and there are bad states. We all know this.
Right.
Alabama, Mississippi, Idaho, Utah, bad states. Bad. And we have good states. Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts.
There you go.
California. Those are good.
Yes.
See?
Colorado. I like Colorado.
You could just Colorado can sometimes go either way, but it's more often good. Arizona often goes bad, but sometimes can go good. it depends. So I will. I reserve my judgment on the ones that are on the fence.
Yes.
But Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas. Yeah,
Well, there you go.
that's all. That
Strong opinion.
and Florida, that is just a giant crotch rot.
Big dick.
Like just
Damn.
yeah. It's
So
it's infected.
So hello, we have a viewer chatting with us today. Hello, Centaurus. How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying our helping of the masses here. And if you have any questions, we are all ears. We give advice, is what we do. We're talking about the question that you kind of see here on the bottom of the screen. We're talking about this poor girl Laura, who is has a friend who is a corrections officer and is having oh good. So welcome.
Well, she has an ex-friend. She has an ex-friend that's
Ex-friend who's a corrections officer.
Because
So we're talking about the moral and ethical implications as a correction officer of having relations with an inmate in said juvenile correction facility. So, a few different
and
psychoses
at a high
going on there.
level, I take it all the way up to if you work at a juvenile corrections facility in Alabama,
Right.
stop right there.
Yeah.
Something is wrong.
Yeah.
That entire staff, you need turn the other way, back
Yeah.
into the hedge.
Into the where's that from? That's a Simpsons reference, isn't it? Backing into the hedge.
I'm thinking of Homer Simpson. He just slowly backs. He becomes one with the hedge.
Yeah,
like just back
Good.
away slowly.
Good.
So, yeah. I mean, I would. So, you do not need to say anything to your friend. You just need to stop thinking of her as your friend.
And I think
And-
that's extreme. I think her relationship with this
Really?
woman doesn't change. Yeah, because I don't think this. If she liked her before, she should like her now. You know, I don't think the nature of the relationship should change based on this factor. Everybody does everything for a reason. You know, so I mean, I know where you. I know how you feel about this clearly.
what's the good reason?
I mean, I guess there's no solid good reason.
I'm trying to think. Just put a positive spin on it.
Right. I love to take it on the upswing at the end, but you know,
She's
I'm not.
She's 30-year-old having sex with a 19-year-old person who's under the who is being detained by the government.
Yeah.
Spin that into a plus.
Right. Ready. Go.
No.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
She
No, I
sucks.
can't do that. You're right.
I'm sorry.
Our viewers asking. So no, Centaurus, we are not licensed or qualified in any way, shape, or form. We are both well educated, but we are not official
Certified.
certified
Double.
psychologists or psychiatrists. We do not prescribe drugs, and we are not technically licensed to provide mental counseling.
We can recommend drugs, and we can
absolutely.
recommend. I mean, there's so many drugs I can recommend.
Absolutely.
I mean, good lord, that could be its own show.
Oh, Centaurus shares. He's asking about you're from Jungian psychoanalysis. You're familiar
Jungian
with that, right?
psychoanalysis?
Yeah. Which is that's the dealing with the unconscious and conscious mind balance.
Right.
Kind of getting in touch with your. Do you have opinions?
On you, I just don't think Jungian philosophy has anything to do with this woman at the correction center banging the 19-year-old.
It's not. And they didn't have sex yet, for the record.
Okay, right. They were just like kissing and hugging or whatever. Gross. Okay. I can pontificate on Jungian philosophy at another time, but in terms of answering this particular lady's question, you don't have a friend anymore.
Understood.
Get the fuck out of Alabama.
Understood. Oh, yeah. So, quick one, Centaurus. I will comment very quickly. I think that I do think there's meaning in dreams. I think they're reflective of conscious minds, stress, trauma issues. You know, that's kind of my opinion. But you know,
Well, I think that's more objectively true. Like your dreams are simply your
Manifestations.
brain processing
Right.
everything that happened,
Yes.
and like and just
and putting it through the U filter, right? So it's like
right.
yeah,
Exactly. And I always end up naked on stage, ready for not prepared for a test, but
Right.
somehow my
that's
brain
telling,
thinks
right?
that's
that's
exactly
a sign
so,
right there.
Not sure exactly what that means, but can't be good.
Yeah, sorry. So we're gonna go through the Centaurus. We'll go through the rest of our questions here, but feel free to interject and jump in if you have any thoughts on this stuff. We're trying to get to the issues that our viewers have been logging with us here. So let's see. So next one comes from Glenn. Glenn is from Ashford, Wisconsin, and Glenn asks, my girlfriend, 25-year-old female, told me, Glenn, 27-year-old male, she's a diagnosed psychopath. Is this something to be concerned about? She said she was diagnosed as a psychopath when she was 20 years old, and I'm the only other person she's told except her parents. She said she trusts me enough to be open-minded about her mental health. I still really like her, but I don't know how to take this news. I feel like I've been deceived and manipulated by her. How do I know she feels what she says or feels what she believes? What she says, she believes. That's Glenn. I mean, I would leave that off with like, well, Glenn, when did you expect her to tell you? Like, if she put that in her dating profile, that'd be a quick no-go, right?
Well, she's literally pointing a gun at your head that shoots red flags. Like
Yeah.
Why? My question to you is, why are you taking the time to write us and not running away right now? Like,
You're
like,
so
you
judgy
should be
tonight.
you should be on your feet or in a vehicle at this moment, moving yourself away from this person. When someone tells you who they are,
Yeah.
believe them. She did you a favor, Glenn. Like, get your laces tied up. Why are you not running at this very moment? Like, I mean, she said she told her parents. Do you happen to know the current whereabouts and living status of said parents? No? Who knows? She's a psycho. Okay? She told you that she is a psycho.
But if she's
Believe that
if
she is
she's
one.
lucid enough to acknowledge, hey, I have an actual legitimate mental illness I'm struggling with, working on herself, she told him.
I do not think that's what's happening here.
Okay.
Because if you're a genuine psychopath,
Yes.
you really can't work on yourself. Because a psychopath does not have the ability to have human empathy. So whatever this is, it's not good. She's telling him she's a psycho, which is sort of like, if she is a psychopath, run away. If she's not technically, but is telling him she is,
Right. Also run away. Okay. So
if she's just making a terrible joke, run the fuck away.
I see.
This is, I really hope you're running as we're saying this.
You know,
Like,
stop reading the computer and run.
Like, you better be at full speed at this moment. Like, is what I think. Like,
So-
wherever the GPS coordinates of this chick are, you got to keep maximizing those numbers away.
But what do you think about, you don't think there's a mental health path for psychopaths to
No,
heal?
no,
No.
that's what makes them psychopaths. No, like with if you're a true psychopath doesn't care.
It's an unrecoverable disease is what you're saying. So it's a disease of will.
It's a state of mind. It's a true psychopath basically does not even understand empathy.
Right.
Or why,
or realize
why.
they don't realize they have a problem either, right?
Right. And so, if she's saying she was diagnosed as a psychopath, it's like, well, people call me a psychopath. It's like, if anyone's liberally throwing around the word psychopath, it just means maybe get out of that situation.
Yeah.
Because I have had experiences with many people
Yes.
who I don't even know were technically diagnosed as psychopaths, who I would not wish to cross paths with again. So this particular person who's actually telling you to your face,
Yeah.
I don't know. You disagree, Vanguard? Or you're trying to see if you can actually become
I'm thinking
you can become healed from being a psychopath? Like,
yes.
you would have to learn the concept of empathy and have it.
Yes, I understand that. But I think like there are techniques, right? There's behavioral therapy, there's skills training.
Well,
there's
the behavioral therapy for psychopaths is to have them behave like normal people. So it's like, you're a psychopath. No,
Right.
you can't just murder that guy because of reasons. Like, we don't do that in society. So a lot of the cognitive behavioral therapy for the psychopath is explaining to the psychopath how the rest of the world's minds work.
Correct.
And why, if they don't follow these particular rules, they will be locked up where they can't hurt anybody. Because they don't have the ability to understand hurting people is wrong. They don't have the ability to know what wrong is.
Right. But
it's
not a absolute either, right? There's a spectrum. So it's not,
There is a spectrum, but if you're diagnosed as a psychopath, if
Yes.
someone says, like, if you're defined, I mean, if you have a psychiatrist or a psychologist that's like psychopath,
Mhm.
sociopath, it's like, yeah, those are kind of like the end margins of the of the scale there.
So what do you do?
can go all the way up to psychopath, and if you're a
Sure.
psychopath, you're like, yeah, I gotta you know what? Good luck to you. I'm gonna go change my name.
Psychopathic tendencies, right? Rather than like full like zero emotion, zero care, zero empathy. You know what I mean?
So would you think of this as like a challenge? Be like, oh, psychopath, huh? All right. Well, let's see about that.
Interesting.
Maybe we can,
Fix
lower the
her.
body count. Like, I don't like. What are we like? I mean, unless Glenn wants to take on a project in Wisconsin,
Yeah.
I, you know, I say back away,
All right, there you go.
or actually
So,
run away.
for the hills. Yeah. Yeah.
Other
Right.
person, back away. You run. Like laces on. Yeah, she just needed to kind of. Laura just needed to kind of back into the hedge. You need to run through the hedge,
I-
make a U-shaped hole in the hedge,
A la Wile E. Coyote. And continue running.
and through all of the subsequent hedges. So there's just a series of U-shaped holes
Yes.
in a series of
So-
hedges. That's what I want to see from you, Glenn.
I don't know, dude. I just don't like giving up on people. You know what I mean? I think we've come a long way in psychotherapy, behavioral
I am not-
analysis, medications that everyone could be helped.
There are plenty of antipsychotic medications. There
Right.
are lots of different things available. What I am saying is, for this particular person, who is saying, "Should I believe her? What should I do?" Like, I think for Glenn, are you running right now, Glenn? I really hope you're fucking running. Like,
Just
what,
holding the phone while you're watching
hope-
us.
like you have earbuds in and are just sprinting with your earpods down the street. Like, again, GPS coordinates need to be going up, higher,
Yes.
away from where she is.
The away location.
Plus and minuses, make sure those are
Origin
lined up so
plus
that you are
X and Y, so she can
Right.
find you.
just maximize that.
Oh my goodness.
So, because that's not saying like as a society we shouldn't give up on someone. I'm saying Glenn should give up on this person
I see.
specifically.
I see. I
Glenn,
see.
this is a psychopath. We can talk about the nature of psychopathy and how, as a society, we deal with people who have these terrible mental. But Glenn, fucking run, okay? You, Glenn, right now, you run. Lace it up, run.
Oh lordy.
As a society, we'll deal with your psycho, but for your own safety,
All right. Well, there you go.
lace up,
They got it.
get moving.
There you go. I mean, again, I would go with the communication route, but perhaps this is a doomed relationship, Glenn. But how many long? You haven't told us how long he's been dating, did he? No, he didn't. Yeah.
No,
Dating.
I didn't hear that one.
So I guess that's an issue because you say he kind of feels betrayed, right? So it's like, well, how long have you been dating? If it's been like 2 weeks, again, that's not something you lead with when you meet somebody. You know what I mean? You kind of wait till you get to a certain level of trust with someone.
Is there any level where you're just like you can finally get to be
Either
like,
way.
yeah, I'm a psychopath? Because if you're a psychopath, why are you? It's like there has to be a reason. Because like a true psychopath doesn't really care about the feelings of others.
That's exactly why I don't think she's a true psychopath. And
Like,
I
I
think
don't
she
think-
was, and I think she was diagnosed on a spectrum and not absolute. You know what I mean? Because she cares about what he thinks. She cares about trust, and she cared enough to tell him and said, "Because I trust you, I'm sharing this with you." That's all emotion, right? And that's empathy. That's what I was.
I am thinking that she is basically saying, you know, you don't want to be with me. I'm a psychopath. Like I'm, and Glenn should be like, okay, and move on. Because if someone is
Maybe.
telling you
right,
in the relationship, I have been diagnosed as a psychopath.
right.
Personally, I don't think it's Glenn's responsibility to be like, I'm here to help.
I-
And you know what? We're gonna get through this together.
Or-
Fuck that. No,
or are you
Glenn,
being-
run.
Or is she being figurative? Or like I want to see the
Regardless.
paper document that has diagnosis.
Right.
Like,
And my point is, it doesn't matter whether she's
Yeah.
truly diagnosed as a psycho or not. The fact that she's telling him, I am diagnosed as a psycho, is not good.
Yeah.
There's no because if she secretly is like, hey, I wonder if this guy will stay with me if I tell him I'm a psychopath. Let's see what he does. Right there. Don't stay with her. Any
Right.
girl that's
That's
testing you
the
to see if he'll
test.
stay with you who's a psychopath is not someone you want
That's-
to be with, Glenn.
that's a
Why
fact.
aren't you running?
come on, Glenn.
You better be freaking
It's a fair.
basic running shoes and beating down the street.
That's a fair point. All right, well there you go. So Glenn, good luck. I hope it ends well and not badly for you. So good luck.
Yeah. So I think the best way it can not end is for you to remove yourself from the psychopath before she's able to murder you, Glenn.
Right.
So that's this is pretty strict. I do not believe I have to be certified or need a licensure from
No.
a governmental organization or something like that,
Yeah.
or professional body to tell you, girlfriend says she's a psychopath. Believe her, or at least believe that she told you that for a reason, and the reason is you need to be running.
Right. All right. There it is. You heard it here, Glenn. All right, let's move on. So
No, Glenn is
All right.
long gone.
Yeah,
If I know Glenn, and I know Glenn,
we know Glenn.
Glenn has
Glenn's a
Glenn put
good
on
guy.
his tennis shoes
Yeah.
12 minutes ago
Yeah.
and is blocks
Bolted.
away by now. So
Bolted for the hills. What was I gonna say? Yeah, no, I was on the fence, and now I'm kind of with you on this one, right? Because even if she's not, but she said she's the type she isn't, playing some stupid test game bullshit,
right.
you want out. You know what I mean? It's like,
It's immaterial if there actually is the the spectrum of where she falls on it. It's just
Right.
like throwing that out there as like, I've never told anyone this before by my parents, but I'm telling you, I'm a psycho.
right.
Oh, okay. You are?
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna go out and grab Chinese food and never come back. Great. Yeah.
And
Hi, I'll be right back. Why? No, I gotta put on. Yep, taking my coat. Doesn't matter. Okay, bye.
Oh, wow.
Like,
All right, very good. All right, our last question comes from Sam from Cedarville,
oh, shit,
Arkansas.
that was our third.
That was number 4, dude. That was number 4. Number 5.
Uh,
Did I miss a question?
check. I think you missed a question. If we're
Hold on,
if
hold
you-
on.
You must have skipped one.
Sam, you're gonna have to wait. Sorry, I skipped 3. Okay, Jenna, Lincoln City, Oregon. Jenna
Oh,
says,
okay. So there is one that you missed. Okay.
And I did. I'm in recovery from an eating disorder. I struggle with anorexia and bulimia for the majority of my life. Until I was 21, I'm now 28. My boss is an extremely fit older woman who constantly makes comments on what my coworkers and I eat, mostly pointing out how certain things have X amount of calories, sugar, etc. I know this type of person.
Yeah.
As someone recovering from an eating disorder, I find this triggering. How can I politely set the boundary without having to disclose my previous eating disorder history? That's Jenna. Excellent
Oh,
question,
God.
Jenna. Thank you for coming to us.
Yeah, Jenna, that's a really terrible position to be in. I mean, I have yet to meet an extremely fit person who wasn't also certifiably insane. So it sounds like your boss is one of those people that like kind of has maybe low self-esteem herself and gets her jollies by pointing out fun unfactoids about food. And people like her are insufferable in general, but as a boss, it's too fucking much.
You are
So
hardcore about this.
I'm
It's
saying,
okay if
I
she likes
think
to stay fit. It's okay to want to be fit.
I think I can help. I just think
Go ahead.
that any method I suggest may not technically figure under the definition of politely.
Yes.
She did say that she wants to. Okay, so, all right,
Go ahead.
we're gonna do politely.
Yes.
What is your, Jenna? What is your position on drugging people unsuspectedly?
Okay. So we're not
Pro,
going to do
con-
that.
Wait,
We're
so
not. Gonna,
oh, so
no.
that's
We're
that's completely
that's
out of the realm.
off the list. We're not going to.
Okay.
We're not going to advocate for
All right.
drugging someone.
How about you replace all the food in the office refrigerator
Yeah.
with like super high calorie dense substitutes
Okay.
and or no. This is what you do. Okay. This is absolutely what you do. I am absolutely sure that you are not alone in having this trash fire of a fitness freak boss. Okay? That you're not alone in thinking that. So what you have to do is get like a cadre of your coworkers together and start, whenever she's around, start saying things like, hey, are you feeling tired? Like, hey, I've been noticing you're looking a little peaked. Are you feeling okay? Are you eating okay? Do you need a little help with the door? How long do you have left? Oh, you look a little yellow. Is that jaundice? Perhaps you're low on iron. Like, just start doing that, having people throw out that shit. Be like, oh, well, I'm sorry, your sandpaper-like skin is cracking because you're an old broken baseball glove. Perhaps a moisturizer. Any of those things could be
I don't know.
said by multiple people, and while she might, could you say, you seem to be making a lot of comments about food lately, and the rest of the office and I are we're talking and we're kind of scared for you. We're a little bit worried. Are you getting all your essential amino acids? Like, oh, bless that old coot's heart. Like, like, if we're not allowed to drug them and we're not allowed to, so mockery or reverse psychology.
I also don't know if
I believe is ethically sound.
I also don't know if a nuclear escalation is the right solution here.
That is not a nuclear escalation. Okay, the nuclear escalation. No, getting your coworkers to go around her and make her feel that she is sickly and dying. That's just good business. Like for as far as like this woman wants to make her have a better office environment.
Mm-hmm.
So because the person in power is not acting appropriately, she needs to rise up like the French in the French Revolution did. And okay, so the woman is Marie Antoinette. Okay, we'll say the boss is Marie Antoinette.
She was decapitated, by the way, but yes, go on.
Your words, man. Your words. Wow, that you escalated that really fucking quickly. I would never. I don't even know
something so
crazy as that.
I don't even know what came over me. Woo! I was like, oh, take it by the moment.
Okay, how would you suggest to politely tell someone who is your superior that they're insufferable?
I understand. I would be straight. Like I would be straight and say, hey, I would say, by the way, when I was younger, I had issues with my weight, so I'm very sensitive about food topics. So when you say those things,
you look great now. You look thin now. It must be thank God you finally could take care of yourself. You're not fat now.
It flashes. It's very triggering for me when you bring those things up because I struggle with it for a long time. So I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, no one wants to be fat. I'm telling you.
That's what's going to
get nuclear.
Yeah. I hope
it's going to happen.
I hope it works.
Which is why you have to approach it because what you're trying to do is approach it as she's asking politely, which I believe it's a possibility, but I do not believe the woman would change her behavior, and in fact, she would retaliate against. If she said that she had an eating disorder that she was triggering, I'm not sure that would actually go over very well with her boss.
Really, you think the boss will persist?
It could be, which is why it's a better idea
to
just gaslight her into thinking that she's sick. Yes. That. Okay.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm still gonna go with my plan. Because if I, so you have a couple choices. You could be honest and be like, "Hey, I had an eating disorder, so that's kind of triggering," or you could bury all of that and just have a little bit of fun with your coworkers, and make your boss quit.
Right.
And then everyone's happy.
And then everyone's happy.
Hey man, you took drugging off the table immediately.
I did.
I didn't. Good Lord.
I didn't even
say what drugs.
I know.
I didn't even have to say. You just
cut that right off.
Right. Just get.
It technically doesn't matter.
Just once. I want you to be able to just let us drug somebody.
No. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I know you wrote on the office whiteboard.
I did.
We cannot drug people.
Yes, correct.
It's up there. I saw it on there.
It's on the OK Seriously break room. It is on the whiteboard.
And every time I erase it, you write it back.
Yes.
And I know it's you because you're the only other person that has access to the break room.
Yes.
But each time, I'm gonna erase it again.
You drug people.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because sometimes
I gotta stick to my guns, but that's fine. So, Jenna, that's what I would say. I would bring it up with her, communicate with her, just say, "Hey, it makes me uncomfortable. Would you mind stopping, please?" You don't have to get into the details about what your with food is. Just that there was an issue.
But she said she doesn't. She said she doesn't want to give her eating disorder history.
Right. You don't say you had bulimia.
Like she doesn't want to tell her that she. But I don't think she wants to tell her that she had an eating disorder. She just wants her to stop being a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
That's the thing with people who are.
You could be vague, I think, and still get the point across. Like when I was younger, I had a thing with food. I don't want to get into, but what you're saying is triggering for me. I please request that you stop. That's all I have to say.
It's so much less fun.
I'm the boring path. We know this. Like you're the more fun, adventurous path.
I believe in justice.
Yes.
And the only way that she can get true justice is
retribution
through my
is
plan.
what you want.
Retribution.
Retribution.
Yes, I am a flaming sword of vengeance.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
And
yes.
I come at you strong, but
Oh my goodness.
But yeah.
All right.
So
Now
be polite or make her think she's nuts.
that's right. All right.
Either way,
all right.
your
Let's
choice.
let's really get to question 5 now from Sam. Sam's been patiently waiting. We have to get to Sam's question. Sam from Cedarville, Arkansas. Sam says, from a young age, I've always wanted to live a barefoot lifestyle, but was embarrassed of what others thought of my bare feet. But as I've gotten older, I really started to hate how socks and shoes feel on my feet. I feel constricted and uncomfortable in shoes. When I'm barefoot, I feel happy and calm. I want to live without wearing shoes and socks, but I feel my friend's family won't understand. Is living a barefoot life not a realistic option? Asks Sam.
No.
It is not. It
It
is
is
not a
not.
realistic option. You can be
What's your feeling
barefoot.
on tetanus?
You can be barefoot all the time in your house. You can be one of those guys. And I'm very opinionated about this topic. Actually, I think I'm assuming Sam's a male. Men's feet are disgusting in general and should not be seen in the light of day.
I would say feet are disgusting in general, but men's feet especially.
Some women's feet I really like. Not like in a like a.
Of course you are.
I know.
Of course you are.
It's a thing.
Right. Go on.
So I always I'm very judgy of men who wear sandals. You know, with I'm like, why are you showing your feet? You're a dude. I'm very judgmental about that.
Isn't
That's
that
not
better
right.
than, like, the Greeks and the Romans at least had sandals? That
I
was
know.
2,000 years ago.
I know.
So Sam's not even willing to
even
wear
there.
sandals, which you already frown upon.
I know, and I'm
Like-
just saying. That's why I'm surprised I'm saying this. But Sam, I think you need to adapt to sandal life. You know, your
Yeah,
foot is mostly free, right, in a sandal. Really, if you get the right sandal.
Well, I mean, you can get Crocs. I mean, they're gaudy and ridiculous, but you will have
Right.
less puncture wounds
Yes.
in your feet.
Yes, but even
Our-
even flip flops. Even if you wear a flip flop around, most
You-
people
you
are
just see that
like
you
people
have to have
people
protection.
right. People will raise
under
an
your feet.
eyebrow and say, "Why are you wearing flip flop in the middle of winter?" But like, it's not like social stigma. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god, flip flop guy. You know what I mean? Like, people would be okay with it. Like, society would accept you walking around in flip flops most of your
Yeah,
public life.
like the whole like no shirt, no shoes, no service
Yeah.
thing. Like that would I would think that would be bound to that. That's alone.
Flip
why
flops
it's
are exempt.
unrealistic.
You can walk in with flip flops and you're fine. You have shoes.
You can't walk into a mall in a department store and walk in a Nordstrom barefoot.
Correct. But you can in flip flops. That's what I'm getting at.
Right.
Flip flops the way to
Exactly.
go. Learn how to wear flip flops in public.
Bunny slippers even.
Stay barefoot at home. I would go bunny slippers. I like bunny slippers. I like those big. I want the
Yeah.
big like bear, like Bigfoot slippers. I really like them. Comfortable.
It sounds
Warm.
like that Sam just feels constricted. He doesn't he needs his feet to breathe,
Right.
which I get, but that's why I think Sam, you're gonna have to settle for sandals when you're in public spaces,
Yes.
and be free with your toes at home.
Yep.
And
That's it.
you know,
That's it, Sam.
but
I mean, I'm sure you can move to like a commune or something where people are barefoot all the day.
well, I
Or
think
if you live in a beach
John,
house, right?
Well, there's the poem "The Barefoot Boy" by like James Whittier. That was and the whole
familiar.
point of the poem is to talk about innocence versus knowledge.
Yes.
And it's like the barefoot boy is innocent and doesn't understand the world yet. He doesn't even know that he needs to wear shoes.
Right.
And he will grow up to be a man who understands that he doesn't want to have lockjaw.
Tetanus.
By stepping on a rusty nail.
nail. Exactly. Which are quite
I think
prevalent.
it's as simple as that.
Yeah. We pretty much broke it down for you.
Yeah.
So move to some kind of
I can
commune.
see
where
that being one of those things where it's like, yeah, you want to be like, I want my feet to touch the earth, and I get that, but is it a realistic lifestyle? No, at least not in this country.
Not in general society, right? Again, you can go to special places where that's or like I said, if you live in like a
Right.
beach community, you probably see people
Sure.
walking around barefoot all the time. That's fine. That's what you want to do. Go nuts, right? But again,
But-
even those people, they get in their golf carts, they drive to Target, they walk in with shoes or sandals, right? It's like,
Yeah, they
embrace the flip flop, Sam. Embrace it.
Right.
It is your
and
path.
especially if you ever, you never want to walk around a major city barefoot. I'm telling you
That's
that.
disgusting.
It's
You ever accidentally
Um,
lean up against a building in like Manhattan with your hand
yeah,
and
and I
touch
got
it?
cholera.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's the most
Instantly got
disgusting.
cholera.
It is covered in the bodily juices of a billion people. It's so nasty.
Yes. Syphilitic
slimy.
cholera.
Like buildings in New York are literally slimy. So many people
And
touch
it's
them.
in the air. Like you don't even
Oh
have to
yeah.
touch the. If you just get within an inch of the building, it will come off of the building and adhere to you, like
Yes.
the goo monster in that episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation
Yes.
that killed Tasha Yar.
Yes.
Okay, that is
Armis.
essentially the
His
stuff.
name was Armis, by the
Armis.
way.
He was a bad dude,
Yeah, yeah.
and he almost killed Riker too. So
You're
I
right,
was
he
saying
did. He swallowed up Riker and then spit him out.
never liked Armis.
No,
Um,
not a fan of Armis.
But yeah, so get some sandals, Sam, and the rest of the time, go nuts.
Yep. Find a sandal you can live with, and then go with that. Go with that as your primary outdoor shoe, right? Live that
Okay,
way. And
problem
every time you're home, kick them off right by the door. Be barefoot in your home as much as you want. Backyard, great. You know? Want to
I
Target?
guess it depends. Yeah, but
Put it back on. That's it.
so yeah, this is a compromise situation, Sam.
Yeah.
That's
All you
what you
gotta
do. Or maybe you're just, you can do what you want, get your tetanus, die, and then, oh, problem solved. So, I
Although-
suggest the sandal route, and
Yes.
to not have the tetanus,
Yes.
is I would think would be preferable. But
Yes.
each his own. All up
Sure.
to you. We're just here to point you in the right direction. It's your job there to go there.
Doing our part. Society does have norms. This is one of them.
Yes, it is. Sad as that might be.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
we got to live with. What are you gonna do? We got to live with. Oh, dude, speed round.
It is speed round, and it is your turn, my friend. You
Oh,
are up today.
shit. I'm not. I don't feel fully prepared.
Yeah, I got about 30 seconds to get prepared.
I know,
So,
exactly. All right, let me get everything set up
prepare
here.
yourself.
Sorry. So, for those who are not familiar, speed round is we're going to have 5 rapid fire questions from our users, and we are going to. It's my turn. I'm going to answer them within 60 seconds, 1 minute. So, and then we'll maybe do a little unpack at the end, depending on how it goes. So, Green Pants is going to start asking the questions, and I will start the timer after he finishes reading the first question.
Yes. Are you ready?
I am ready. Hit me.
What is the best way to relax after a long day?
Masturbation.
If you could invent a holiday, what would you celebrate?
Refer to question 1, masturbation.
Okay, fair. What is the worst book that you were forced to read as a kid?
Oh shit. Oh god. Great Expectations.
Okay. Your friend Todd is leaning out of a window asking you to toss him up a jelly donut.
Yeah.
How many stories up would Todd have to be before you wouldn't feel confident about your ability to target with the donut?
I hear you. Jelly donut, right?
Jelly donut.
Probably 3.
That's
They don't fly
Okay.
far. Yeah, 3.
3 stories? Okay. If all of your kitchen appliances came to life, who would they elect as their leader?
Oh. I think the refrigerator. Refrigerator.
Okay.
All right. That's
All
the
right.
last question.
I'll
Right,
accept
done.
that.
I'm gonna go refrigerator because of oops, out here. So let's start unpacking here. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I would-
Centaurus. Sorry about I missed your early comment there. Yeah, we try to get through our viewer questions, and we've done that. So what's the last thing you asked there? Oh, are we college educated in psychology or philosophy? We do not have degrees in psychology or philosophy, although we have studied both subjects. So if that
Intricately.
states your curiosity, we have studied that amongst many other topics as well.
And I can also tell you that if all of my kitchen appliances came to life, they would elect the fucking KitchenAid mixer as its leader.
Really?
Because it was really expensive, and it just sits there thinking it's better than everyone else.
I see.
And basically, it's
I see.
there just to kind of show people that, like, hey, we cook in this house, but you don't necessarily. It's just there.
Yeah.
Trying to, like, maybe fooling the guests into thinking, hey, you're this big chef or whatever. So
Yeah.
I think that KitchenAid mixer would be the, because anybody who wants to be president shouldn't be, and that KitchenAid mixer wants to be. So I think he would end up getting elected, for good or for ill.
That's fair.
alright.
Yeah, I went with the refrigerator because I think my refrigerator would be basically a narcissist and basically say like, look, all of you are useless without me because I contain the food that you will cook. You know what I mean? Or bake or prepare or mix or julienne or whatever other.
And because refrigerator is an appliance and pantry is not, so
Right.
pantry can't like If
Right.
so, yes, if we don't have a
Pantry-
sentient pantry, but we do have a sentient
Sentient
refrigerator,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, then he would definitely or she would hold. Yeah, would probably be because they have the ability to ruin all of the food before it even gets a chance to be cooked.
Yes,
So it's like, hey, if you don't like, okay, that's a
absolutely.
I think of more of as like a status symbol. That would be more the KitchenAid mixer.
Yeah.
Um,
And your answer is fair, and I respect it. For sure.
Worst book forced to read in a school? Where the Red Fucking Fern Grows.
I never
Okay.
read that one. I did not read that
Oh
one.
my god.
I did not read that
It
one.
is. This is the actual story, and I am not shitting you.
Hit me.
It is the story of this kid, Billy, who grows up in a poor farming community in Oklahoma.
Yep.
All Billy wants to do is get hunting dogs, and he really wants to be a prize hunter. So the first thing that happens to Billy as a child is that he sees a kid fall on an axe and die. So
Yeah.
that's one of the first things that you read in the book. Kid falls on axe, dies.
What grade level
Then,
did you get this book in?
9.
Oh,
It is a 4th grade.
That's too young.
Both of my children also were forced to read this book in the 4th grade
Wow.
in my current state.
I never got this book.
so-
all right, go on.
What ends up happening is that Billy, as a child, he gets 2 dogs. One is Old Dan, and the other one is Little Ann. And he goes out with the dogs, and he gets attacked by a coyote. But Old Dan jumps in and saves the boy, but dies of his injuries.
Yes.
And then Little Ann dies of grief from losing the other dog.
Wow.
So the end of the book is Billy's dogs are dead, the end. It should not be on any fucking bookshelves. It's supposed to be a
Jesus.
story about love conquering, and it's like I don't get it.
Wow.
My children's 4th grade teacher, who they both had the same one,
Yeah.
told me this was his favorite book. I should have pulled them from the class at that point, but still can't figure it out, like why anyone would have that as their favorite book. But yeah. So
That is
the end of the
shocking,
book
actually.
is the end of the book is literally Billy being heartbroken with grief and trying to understand how there is a God that would take his dogs away from him when they were the thing he loved most.
Jesus. Holy crap.
That's the book.
That's like
And it's supposed to
traumatizing
be like,
for a
yeah, well,
child.
Totally. There are stories of
Holy
people who are
crap.
like, yeah, my husband read this book in 4th grade and never read another book.
Wow.
Like that it's yeah, you were
Wow. Oh, shoot. Green pants.
especially if you
There you are,
have
you're back.
dogs.
Yeah. Oh, for
If
sure.
you actually have dogs, like just
Especially if you
such a bad
lost a
book.
dog, like lost a family dog. It's
Right.
like,
Or if you have a dog that you've lost and you've got a slightly older dog, and now you're going to worry that the older dog is going to die of grief.
Hmm.
Because the other. Where the Red Fern Grows. Terrible book. I'm just saying.
right,
I
so
don't know.
noted. Jesus, dude.
Read it as an adult, but why it's a 4th grade book, I will never understand.
Yeah. A
Um,
side question for you. So our viewers asking, are you familiar with Carl Jaspers?
That name sounds familiar, but I
Yeah,
can't.
he's a guy who was big on so I'm trying to pull this from memory. He was big on sense of self, manifesting reality. He was kind of like correct me if I'm wrong here, Sartorius. Humanity was sort of central to reality, like kind of like the definition of what was actually real in the universe, kind of thing. I didn't really buy it. Not my school of thought, because I think the universe would be here whether we were or not. I think reality
Right.
is
Yeah, the universe exists regardless of us. I think.
reality is very objective. Right, it exists whether
Right.
we're there or not. So
Right. So that gets me to how I would relax after a long day. You know,
Oh, yeah,
that
go
goes
ahead.
straight to masturbation.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just like fiddling around with my cyanide tooth, knowing that it's always an option. You know, you just fiddle around with it
that
and
old
knowing, you know
hollow
what?
tooth.
With a carefully
And a single
orchestrated
one-
crunch, I could end the madness and the pain and the sadness. And
all the
just
voices.
knowing that.
All the voices.
All of the voices would stop, you know, and I would just think about how that is a possibility that I could always
Oh my
explore.
god.
And I would find it relaxing. Like if I could invent a holiday, it
Yeah.
would be like And this, I think, would be the greatest holiday ever. It would be the
Good.
day that everyone realized that all religious bullshit is complete bullshit, and we're going to
Yeah.
call it Critical Thinking Day.
Yeah.
And it's the day that everyone realizes that all of this horse shit that I'm talking about is just can announce, like, we just stop humoring all the people and their associated death, torture, porn cults, and like, and just we're all gonna work together to make the world a better place and not make up space wizards. I know it'll never happen. We'll always have space wizards.
Flying spaghetti monsters. It's
Yeah,
the classic
but if
example.
I think if I was to throw a jelly donut, I think it would
Oh,
depend
donut,
on
yeah.
Todd. Like, honestly, my athletic ability would be, after about one story, would be very low. I would be low in my confidence.
Oh.
However, if Todd were to have fallen out of the window and
Catch a
gotten
mid-fall.
closer to me on the ground, I would feel a little bit more confident that I could maybe
see.
toss it up before he caught the jelly and then became jelly.
I see. That's a very deep analysis that you just did of that one. That was excellent, actually. Thank you. That was fantastic.
Came right up in the old noggin there. Yeah.
Nice.
Um,
Yeah, maybe I was
Yeah,
a
I
little
think that's
aggressive. Because three, that's 45 feet, right? Up, about.
yeah.
That's
Well,
a pretty
a
far.
standard. Yeah, ceilings are 8 feet, but a story is like 12.
That's what I'm getting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
story.
about-
So 36 to 40 feet.
Yeah.
That's a far toss for a donut because it's like floppy. It's not very
but a donut
aerodynamic.
filled with jelly does have
It's
weight
got
and
weight
heft
to it, which would help it
You
be
could-
thrown.
You know, if it was like a glazed donut, you'd have to like
Yeah,
spin it. But if it's a donut that has jelly, it would have more of a center of mass, center
Right.
of gravity,
exactly.
that you could throw it up, lob it up like a baseball,
I think
and then Todd
yeah.
could catch it on his way down.
Right, and I'm confident I could, on his way down. I'm confident I could throw it probably horizontally, but I don't know if it could go straight. If I get straight up that high, we have to do some science here to figure this out.
Yes.
To be done.
Well, and that's why this question is about speculation and your projected confidence.
Yes.
You know, I might find that, hell, I can throw a jelly donut 8 stories. I had no idea.
Yes.
You know, but probably not. It turns
Probably
out
not.
I can only toss it underhand at best.
Probably not.
So that that's my feeling on that.
Nice.
So you would actually have masturbation celebration day?
Yeah. What would you celebrate?
As I said, critical thinking day.
Oh, critical thing. Oh, that should think.
A day that we all were like, hey,
That's fair.
can we stop with all the bullshit and just actually like
Well, my answer is kind of the same, right? Because if you're masturbating, you're not really worrying about the cares and worries of the world. You know what I mean? And the bullshit and all
Fair.
this other stuff,
It's
right? You're just kind of
your
like,
day.
hey, that's all I'm saying.
just in
Right?
a different way.
Different way, exactly. Exactly.
Because you know, no matter who you are, it's difficult to spend an entire day masturbating. I am just saying, as someone who's attempted it, I was able to do it when I was younger for a lot, but you know, once you just start getting into your 4th decade or so, you know, your ability to chamber and rechamber within short periods of time is
Yes.
diminished.
The chamber.
So,
I like the terminology of chamber and rechamber.
Yeah, you got to
That's
chamber the round.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Oh my god.
Yeah, before you can cycle through.
I get it. I get it.
You know,
I was being a little tongue in cheek there with the masturbation thing. That would probably not be my holiday, honestly. That's a little extreme.
would you join me on Critical Thinking Day?
I would join you on Critical Thinking Day. Actually, you made a very strong case for that, and I would advocate for that as well.
It would just, yeah, it would be. We could all just stop being imbeciles
It-
and stop being like, well, I wear my.
the magical
Like-
fairy dust in the sky is going to save me.
Right. Right.
It's
I have to
not.
face my god east. I have to face my god west.
Right.
Let's die together. Like we'll fight to the death over this.
It's all bullshit.
Like, yeah.
And our viewer Centauri is asking some questions about views on religion, and so I think it's pretty clear our views on that on the religion topic. Centaurus,
Yeah, well, it's not. I mean, religion objectively is nonsense.
It's nonsense.
It's just all.
It's really
nonsense.
nonsense. It
It's
is.
all.
It is.
All of it is nonsense.
It really is.
And yeah, so it's. I mean,
It's
philosophy
escapism.
and
It's
stuff is true,
escapism.
like thinking thought exercises and all
Correct.
that.
Correct.
But yes, it is exactly. It's escapism.
Religion
It's
is escapism.
making up things that it's like, well,
That make
maybe
us feel
if this
better.
happened,
Right.
I will I was trying to explain the concept of heaven to my children, and they were asking like, "What's up with the clouds?" And because they saw a picture, and I was like, "Well, it's got clouds, and there's supposed to be like angels up there, but they don't have any concept of that." And they were like, "That is the dumbest thing. Why would I want to be with the clouds?" And I'm like, "It's all dumb. I'm sorry. I don't know why. It's not a real place.
Right.
So I don't know why I'm explaining it.
Do you know how clouds are formed? They're not like angel sneezes.
No, they don't.
It's like it's moisture.
Also, but what they do know that clouds aren't solid because you can fly through them. So when people are standing on them, that's why they raise the question.
As demonstrated every day by airplanes.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally fly through them.
Which is why I don't have a large problem saying, yeah, that's all nonsense. Because I have yet to be proven or even politely shown otherwise in any way.
That's right. Here's another question. What do you think of Jordan Peterson?
Jordan Peterson's a fucking piece of shit. He's a toxic Canadian fucktard who
you have to admit he's incredibly well spoken and can make a point. It's a wrong point, but he can communicate a point very well. It's kind of a gift. He has
created a cult of personality where he is saying completely horrible, toxic shit, but he says it like a literary professor.
Right.
And so people who think that's what smart people sound like, listen to Jordan Peterson and go, that's a smart person. So even though what he's saying is certifiably insane, he is a complete, he is the epitome
of confirmation
of toxic
bias.
Masculinity.
Yeah. And it's confirmation bias, right? People are like, oh, thank God, somebody's smart saying what I think and can't articulate otherwise.
Well, no, yeah, he just filled an echo chamber that needed an asshole.
Right.
And there was just a bunch of assholes that felt a lot of asshole things, and Jordan Peterson was like, I'll be the guy that will step up and put this in book form. And he's put it in 8-book form. And people are like, oh, this guy is so amazing. No, he's not. He's just a fucking grifter.
He's made an assload of money.
He is a remarkably talented, well-spoken grifter.
I am convinced there's two categories of these types of folks. There's those that are truly ignorant, right? Like, maybe like your Candace Owens and your what's the blonde Tommy Lauren? What's her name?
Oh, Tommy Lauren.
Yeah.
I mean, some people call her Tommy.
Whatever, whoever she is, right? They're legitimately ignorant, right? Like they actually they actually think they're saying the right thing. But then there's the people who are actively deceptive, who sit up in the morning and think, here's how I'm going to deceive people and make money off of it. And Jordan Peterson is one of those people. And Ben Shapiro is one of those people.
Jordan
Stephen Millen is one of those people. Yes. Matt. Those are Those people are like they
Matt
are
Schlapp.
Exactly.
Levin.
Levin. What's his name? I forget these guys. Anyway,
there is a never-ending fucking cavalcade of these assholes.
Yeah.
That are I mean, look at George Sanchez, being openly committing crimes and all that. George Santos. And he was like, "No, I'm good."
No, I'm sorry.
Until finally,
George Santos, who wasn't even his real name.
May or may not be, not even be George Santos.
His name's not even George Santos.
But he will do a cameo for you, and it's funny. If you can have George Santos do a cameo for you, and just it's worth the $200. I'm just saying. Yeah. He does have some skills, and being George Santos is just happens to be the only one.
I mean, talk about a grift, but the guy's like the attention he got and the money he probably got out of this. It's like, how? Just by making shit up. Unbelievable.
Yep. You just say more and more ridiculous shit. But yeah, that's why with the Jordan Petersons of the world, if you just read a paragraph and then break it down, it's like, this is horrible. This is all it's also very black and white, and this is how men are and this is how women are, and if you want to be a man, and a man should, it's so genderized specific that it's that's what makes it so toxic. Is he's like, this is the way things should be, and men do this, and it's right there. You're like, okay, you're a fucking idiot.
That's it. That's literally toxic, right? It's literally toxic.
Yeah, exactly. But
and the thing is big on the Peterson. Another thing Peterson's big on is the he's a big believer in the tiered social order. You know what I mean? He's there are people who are deserving and not deserving. Yeah, they're betters, right?
He's someone that's don't talk back to your betters.
Right.
Literally one of those people who's who believes he is a better.
Correct. And let me remind you about the origins of fascism. You know what I mean? That there's someone that's legitimately superior to someone else.
Right.
history is right for these
Exactly.
examples, right? And it's people that are just milking that and engaging in people that I don't even know if he truly believes that, honestly. You know what I mean? I think it might be
I don't
just
know.
part of the
There's a
grift.
fascist debating someone tonight. You know, if you're ever interested, one of the most famous
If you want
fascists,
to hear what
you
a
know,
fascist has
that's
to
living
say.
today.
No, no, no.
He's a fucking idiot
Actually,
and really hard to understand. But if you just want to see an example of a creepy old fascist, tune into Disney Plus tonight, and
but
you
you know
can
what?
catch the presidential debate.
Because we were going deliberately, you know, grifting versus he's like that interesting blend between the two, right? Because he is not like
Well,
he
I
doesn't
think
believe or
started
understand what the
more
fuck he's talking
grifting
about.
and deranged.
Yeah.
The deranged, yeah, I think his life experiences and stuff have his mind is so twisted. It's like Emperor Palpatine. I mean, what do they say? It's like, you know, eventually,
dark
like you're so
side.
fucked up. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Like he's gone. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing left, and there never was anything there to begin with. But I
Yeah.
think when his brother dumped that bowl of mashed potatoes on his head when he was 10, that basically defined Trump the way he is because he was humiliated in that dinner and basically never wanted that. If Fred had
didn't hear
not
that
poured those
story.
potatoes on his, oh yeah, Mary Trump writes all about it in her book.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's literally one of the defining things of his life. He was
Makes a lot of sense.
humiliated
honestly.
when his brother dumped because
And
he
he
wouldn't
said
shut the fuck
never
up.
again. He's like never again will I be humiliated.
He was a, by all accounts, he was an annoying, bullying,
Child.
vicious little bastard. And so while they were at dinner, he was like, rah, 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 and his brother
Brother's
just
like,
took
"Fuck
the
you."
potatoes and went bam and put it right on his head and shut him the fuck up. And everyone laughed. And Donald lost his mind. And now we might have
And
a
here we are.
fascist state.
Now we might live in a fascist state. Yeah, yeah.
You know. Oh.
Yeah.
It's weird things,
Wow,
way things work out sometimes.
I didn't. Just like Hitler getting kicked out of art school or whatever it was, right?
Right.
It's
You
like-
know? Just give him another chance and, you know, maybe
just
Poland would have had
let
a
him draw
better
whatever.
30s.
Let him draw whatever he wants.
Yeah, exactly. Just humor the man.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. That's the thing. But everything, right? Because for Trump, it was pretty clear early on that, he was not even a great businessman, right? Like he inherited a ton of wealth.
No.
And a lot of failed business enterprises, stuff like that. But the thing he
He
always
has
consistently made
lost
money
way
on,
more money than he earned.
right?
Always.
But the thing he
Like
always
he's
made,
gone bankrupt 3 times.
right? But the thing he always made money on is his brand and a perception. You know what I
Right.
mean? So his literal wealth and identity was based on a grift. You know what I mean? So that's all he knew, right? Is to overflated self-importance, overflated ability. That's all he knows.
And that's what
right?
always got
So-
me about The Apprentice. The Apprentice was meant to be a joke. Like
Right.
it was tongue in cheek. It was like you had Donald Trump, who's this buffoon,
Yeah.
who like has a gold-plated toilet and is just an imbecile. Mark Burnett was like, "This is going to be hilarious.
This is
We're going to have
gold."
this guy, and he's you never know what he's going to say. He's a weird personality. He's just a weird, fucked up dude, and he
Ooh, we lost your green pants.
was some
Oh, there you are.
yeah.
You're back. You're
But
back.
somehow, somehow people became convinced that he was actually a successful businessman, and it wasn't just a persona. Whereas,
right.
you know,
Yeah,
I'll never
and
understand
you
it.
read about that because all those contestants who won, were supposed to get these awesome jobs, right?
yeah, they didn't.
It
None
turned
of
out
them
being like, oh my god, this is horrible. Like I'm a
Right.
foreman on a construction site. Like what's happening? It's like,
Right.
I have a law degree
Right.
from Harvard Business, and it's like,
did. Right. He wouldn't pick, and even in the very first Apprentice, like it was Bill Rancic
Bill
versus
Rancic.
Kwame
I remember
Jackson.
Bill Rancic. Yeah,
and Trump. And there are many people who had said this, but Trump had basically said he's not going to let a black guy win, and so that's why Bill Rancic won. And everyone that was on the studio is like, "Oh yeah, that was what happened."
that was said.
But
right.
they don't have it like on tape, or if they
Right.
do have it on
Oh,
tape,
Burnett's
they
got-
actually
Burnett's
do have
got
it
the
on tape,
tape.
but Burnett has it.
Burnett's got the tape.
Because they were like, we were in the room, and he was like, "We're not going to let that guy win." We can't like, and so they're like, that was known,
Right. Everybody looked around and like, okay.
right? And then the guy put down his camera,
Yeah.
and then Mark Burnett pocketed that,
Right.
And it sits in a safe somewhere.
Exactly.
I don't know what you're waiting for, Mark. At this point, fucking bust it out. I mean,
Seriously. Not gonna
is there
change.
any more?
Not gonna change their minds
Nothing's
anyway.
gonna change.
Right.
No.
Nothing's gonna change.
He'll always be a deranged lunatic.
Oh my goodness.
Hopefully, he doesn't have to be our deranged lunatic.
Yep.
If Kamala can fucking bury him, that'd be great.
It would be lovely. All she needs to do is not fuck up and just speak coherently, and then he'll self-defeat like he
He
always
just
does.
needs to be a normal person.
Yeah.
Just a normal person.
Yep.
And it will shine through. I have no doubt.
Totally. Well, good. Well, I think we
Right.
covered things.
I think we
Right.
I think we covered the gamut today.
I think so, right? I think we covered what we covered.
Yeah.
Feet.
Never read where the
Never
where
had
the
a
red fern grows is powerful.
First foot question, which was fantastic. That was great.
And I detected you were like kind of looking forward to that. Seemed that you were a little bit
I'm
interested in the foot question. Which had not,
Anti-man foot. I am very anti-man foot.
Anti-man.
Men should not show their feet.
but pro some female feet.
Yes. Correct.
Okay.
Mrs. Vanguard, for example, one of the reasons I married her. Feet.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's even on the list.
Yeah, it was in the
I
vows.
don't think that was
It was in
even.
the vows.
Wow, that is something
And her posterior, but that's
yeah,
another topic.
I can honestly say that my Mrs. Greenpants' feet are not mentioned anywhere in our nuptials at all.
It's
I
an
don't think
approach
they
that you
even-
should take or not take.
Yeah, maybe that's me. You know what? I'm gonna have to unpack that on my own. Let me process that and come back next week and just figure out.
I
You know.
appreciate that.
Maybe I'll submit a question to ourselves and see. You know,
Just see what we
See what we think.
See what we think. Yeah,
see
exactly.
what we think.
Okay. We very much dived into the topic of those who work in juvenile detention centers.
Yeah.
Talked about eating disorders. We talked about diagnosed psychopaths. Run.
Yeah. Stay away from them.
And the what's the other one? The 3-month relationship. The dude's being all judgy on his girlfriend
Oh.
that she's getting those texts. Yeah.
Well, if you get a text that says "down to fuck," inquire about it.
Right.
Figure out if she is indeed down to
Indeed,
fuck
down to
with
fuck,
this
right.
person,
Right.
and then have a discussion of what that means.
Communication is the key of our relationship.
Exactly.
So we're getting at there. Yeah.
And 3 months in, that's 12 weeks. That's not enough. You're really
Yes.
gonna have to ask her,
Absolutely.
what does this mean?
Absolutely.
And hopefully, get you a 3-way.
That's fantastic. So Centaurus, thank you for joining us tonight. Although, I have to say, you went minus a few points. Okay, so our viewer that's been a little active in the chat here, gave a shout out to a Trump 2024 and Vance 2028. And Centaurus, you also mentioned earlier 16. You need to do a lot of reading, my friend, and really learn about these
It
policy
seems
positions.
like we have a very uninformed viewer.
Yeah, I know it's
Like,
unfortunate. You need to look.
Anybody that would honestly think Trump 24 is going to do anything other than destroy our economy,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
our way of life.
But, like,
The
and
fact that all of
self-admission.
Europe is shitting themselves because he's like they're
Correct.
all worried that he's going to collapse the global economy, but
and
pull
us
out tariffs
and
and
pull
us
out of NATO, right?
Last week he said he was going to have a bloody mass deportation.
Yes,
Like,
yes. And we
he's
don't,
announcing that.
and we don't have to point out the logistical impossibilities of deporting 15 million human beings from the country.
By a person who's also a convicted felon and a rapist.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Correct.
Doesn't have a lot of I mean, there's nothing there. You can't be like,
Yes.
but I like him. No, nothing.
No.
He literally has zero redeeming qualities.
Yes.
Zero.
Correct. So, highly
He is
recommend
human
you
trash.
read up more on the topics. Read his history. Please. It's all not good.
Yeah, there's no one that likes Trump that knows Trump, like
Yeah,
that follows actual news.
There is a place in the discourse for conservative ideals such as, wow, I think our taxes should be this. I think our regulations should be lessened. I think our freedom should be this. I
That's
believe
all
in
the
some
people that work at
alternatives.
the Lincoln Project.
I would love.
That's what the Lincoln Project is. That's
Correct.
Bill Kristol
Correct.
and the ones who I hated my whole life, but even they were like, you know what, this is a little bit too much.
Correct.
And so
Yes,
uh,
that's right.
when
But
those
we-
guys are
but-
like, we need to make a company to go against Trump because
Yes.
he's ruining our terrible.
and these are the
villainy.
conservatives that did this. These are like the diehard.
These guys are
conservatives.
already the villains,
right.
and they're like,
This is like the Dick
you're
Cheney's of
pushing
the Dick
Yeah,
Cheney,
Dick Cheney!
endorsed Kamala Harris. You know how insane that is?
that's how bad
That's how bad it
he
is.
knows. The man that had a man-sized safe in his room, in his office.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, if you're so I see your comment there, and really like if you're of the mindset of burn it all down, then you're an anarchist, right? And it's like,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, then just get the fuck out of the country.
if you believe
This is
that,
like,
fine.
we would
but
love to have
it's
a
like-
society, thank you.
right?
Like, I kind of, I don't want to live in the purge
Right.
So while I could be free to do whatever
Yeah.
I want, no one wants to live in the fucking purge.
Yeah.
It's the same reason why you don't arm everyone in a room and feel safe. No, because everybody's got guns.
Right. Exactly.
That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Exactly.
So
Yeah. No, I get it, Centaurus, what you're saying.
the library card.
Yeah, that's the yeah. More research is needed here, my friend. Or I don't know. Are your parents of the same philosophy? That's my suspicion. I mean, maybe not. If not, that's great. But that's kind of my guess. It's all you've heard, right? And you're taught when you're growing up.
He has to be very, very young or very, very
16.
woefully ignorant.
16.
16.
Parents are apolitical, so Centaurus is an activist
Oh.
of his own accord. I mean, good for you for having an opinion. That's
okay.
great for having that initiative. You know what I mean? That's great in engagement. But I mean, you just gotta, I think, do some research and look at the facts, right? Like you make a comment here that the country's been destroyed. The country is fine. Inflation went crazy. It's coming back under control. It's the GDP's never been higher.
Interest rates will be reduced by the Fed next week.
Unemployment's never been lower. Interest rates are going down. I mean, if you look at
4.2%,
every single way we measure the economy in any
good.
metrics ever is good. You know what I mean? It literally is. It's just, and it's gotten better over time. Is immigration a problem? Absolutely. Can anyone fix it? It's a very difficult problem to fix. Republicans don't want to fix it because then they have nothing to campaign on, and that's literally why they didn't approve that bill that was put through Congress, right? So it's just like, look at the policy positions. That's all I ask of you.
One side is a governing poly, and the other side's
burn it all down. Right, and performative, right, and burn it all down.
But it's not even performative. It's not even that they necessarily want to burn it all down. They want to get all the money. So their entire, it's a very cynical view. But people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt, like those people, do not give a shit about their constituents. They want to go onto the House floor and make 3-minute Fox News segment sound bites that they can then plug into things out of context, where they can get the same people who only watch Fox News to basically be like, man, can you believe Hillary Clinton's at it again?
Right.
And you're like, what?
Right. I never thought it could get lower. The day when I forget, Inhofe was was the pig fucker? The dude that came in with the snowball. When was that?
Oh, the climate. That was Rand Paul.
Oh, it was not Rand Paul. It was not Rand Paul.
No, it was his, because his dad. There was Rand Paul.
No,
and
it wasn't. It was. I think it was Jim Inhofe.
Was it Jim Inhofe? Okay.
I think so. I don't remember.
They're all idiots.
But like when
listening to them,
when I saw that, I thought that was the low. I'm like, okay, this is it. I was completely wrong. Like, it got so much lower. The grandstanding, understanding, like trying to just take ignorant people for a ride, and saying like, because a snowball exists and no such thing as global warming, is the most scientifically absurd thing that anyone's ever said ever. Besides the Earth is flat. You know what I mean?
And sadly, a lot of people were watching that and going, "See,
wow, snowball,
snowball,
told you, Alice.
It.
Look, he nailed it with the snowball."
Like,
it's like, no,
that should be talked about. That should. It's.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. I know, Centaurus, we can go on and on. I know you have some valid points. And again, I'm just happy. I'm happy you're engaged, right? I just ask you, please get informed on the issues. Look at the history.
Yep.
Make sure you're well read.
If you're 16, you've got time to grow.
You do.
You've got time to learn.
And
if you were 50 and had these opinions, nah.
And everyone, right? No matter what your political persuasion or view is like, everyone needs to take this moment to check their bias, right? Because you have deep felt beliefs about certain things, and that's fantastic. But you have to sit there and take a thought, step out. Take a look at objectively, and say, how is this actually, how does this actually work, right? And what's the real deal?
And when you have an election like this, no one is apolitical. You can't be apolitical when you have stakes this high, and you have a literal rapist and convicted felon.
I don't know, honestly though. Like when you think about it big picture though, for most people, like who are like relatively financially stable, it probably won't affect them. Like my wife, like Mrs. Vanguard, gets agitated a lot and says, "Oh my God, Trump gets elected." And I'm like, no, we're white. Like nothing will happen to us. Like literally, right?
It's if you live in a blue state. That's the thing. Is
maybe if he starts doing that bullshit, then yeah.
The poor people in the red states that don't vote, they're the ones that get screwed. They're the ones that don't get the Medicare. They're the ones that can't travel.
And they're the ones that keep voting against their own best interest.
And yeah, exactly. And they suffer for it, and that's why states are bad, and they have bad schools because they don't take the money from the government to actually hire good teachers. They would rather
Exactly.
Spend it on firing ranges or whatever.
And
the
we've
hell.
gone on and on. And I know we can go back and forth all nice and Tyrus, but just to ask you to do your research. I mean, this is the last comment you have where you're calling out like, oh, we got to get rid of three-letter agencies. These agencies have functions that serve critical purposes. The FCC, the FDA. Without them, things would be horrible. And do some research. You know who did a great job on this
Yeah,
actually?
and-
Before I want to comment on this, you remember Adam Conover?
Mhm.
Everyone Hates Adam, I think is the show he did or something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that. He did a very wonderful web series about the government and basically about the calls for how bloated and horrible everything in the government is, blah blah blah. But then he went in and said, people bitch about the National Weather Service. Let's go find out what they do. And it's actually freaking amazing. Like they save people from dying. You know what I mean? From being able to predict the weather.
NOAA, like
Right.
it's
Huge.
the FDA, like the Food and Drug Administration, like
Yeah.
it is
Huge.
like
People would be dying
by
if these agencies didn't
definition.
exist.
Anybody that refers to it as a three-letter agency
Yeah.
already. Okay, they have because anybody that's calling it the three-letter agency, that's already like a Fox News bullshit
Well,
deep
yeah.
state.
And honestly,
like-
Centaurus, you're demonstrating your lack of understanding of what these agencies
Right.
do and how they benefit.
No one
the
would
American
call
people.
it a three-letter agent. It's like that's not
I mean,
yeah.
it's literally
like
there's
saying
there's
it's
hard
not just letters. Like
there's hard data you can use
CIA,
to look these up.
FBI, super important.
Now
all
I
these things.
Now I'd say that like is there inefficiencies and waste there? And maybe like sure, absolutely. But do you throw out the baby with the bathwater? Not. You know what I mean? You fix them. That kind
Is
of
it
thing.
better to have professional people who are in that field have those positions as part of their professional jobs, or should they just be appointed by whoever is the person whose friends are in that administration,
Right.
so that it just becomes a giant clown car of dedicated professionals led by a political idiot?
Yes.
That's
right.
that's why.
Oh
Leave the
no.
three-letter agencies alone. They're what stop you from getting listeria.
Oh,
okay?
Centaurus, all right. We got to put a pin in this, dude, because we're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
You say we're shilling for fascism. Fascism's right wing, my friend. Look it up.
We're shilling for fascism.
Right. It's like communism's left way. At least call us communists.
Oh my God.
We're at least communists, minimum, right?
Oh my fucking god.
Right wing is fascism.
Okay.
And then the
Yeah.
other thing is like, and
Nope.
Hayek, you quote Hayek, Road to Surf, that Hayek's an idiot. I'm sorry to bring that out, but that cannot be
That's-
more wrong. So
I can't
we're
see
sorry.
what is
So anyway,
I-
we wish you
yeah.
luck. So as we wish
Sure.
everyone luck, and there's love in our hearts for almost everyone except for who's that guy we hate really bad. You had to pick
Donald
one
Trump?
person you tell me hate.
Oh,
I
that
want
hate
to
them.
say that, but he's almost a victim in some ways.
No, I would say Vladimir Putin would
Probably.
be
Probably, he's pretty
one of
horrible.
the truly most evil people. Like
Legit.
Kim Jong Un, but like I don't know if it would do much because if someone else would just sort of fill in that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm curious when
Like,
Putin finally goes.
Most
What's
amount of
going
net
to happen?
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
will be
It's
interesting.
gonna be interesting. But anyway, so we wish you luck, and thank you for everybody for getting by today. Thank you for the questions. Send us your questions because that's what we do. We take questions, we give opinions, and
Give
That's it.
answers.
we give.
And some of them
I
are
tell you what you should do.
just objectively true, such as
Some are
trying
up to
to
interpretation.
trying to compare the Democratic Party to fascism. It's a really difficult stretch.
It is a stretch. It is a stretch.
You can't do those. You can't have Black Lives Matter and fascism together. That's
Right.
the whole. That's not how that works.
The
See?
anti that.
That's
Yeah, it's
literally that. Yeah.
reading about fascism. All right, sounds good. Well, have a good night, everybody, and we'll catch you next time. We'll be here next time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. We'll see you then with another 5 questions.
See you then.
So remember, as always,
always.
we're here to help.
We're here.